बड़े पुराने नोट है तो कुछ ऐसे चाहे
Yes, Shikha, we can start.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. So, a very good morning, everyone. It is my pleasure to welcome our judges, Ms. Vandana Danrejal and Mr. Vivek Agarwal on behalf of DLDAV Model School, Pitampura. Before class 11th I begin with the virtual presentation, I would like to extend my sincerest thanks to our principal, madam. Ma'am, Spectrum would have not been possible without your leadership and positive attitude. Also, would like to thank our supervisory head, Ms. Sandeep Gulati ma'am, who has always been our supporter. Today, 11th I will be presenting on topic the 10 deadly sins, followed by the PowerPoint presentation on topic Maryada Purushottam, psychology of Maryada Purushottam, and then we'll be presenting collage on topic capture the self. So class 11th I students, they took dive into their emotions, feelings and thoughts, and they took out some time to pen out their feelings, thoughts, emotions on paper, which we have accumulated in the form of collage. So without wasting much time, let's begin with the presentation. Over to you, Kashish.
I would like to request you all to keep your videos and microphones on. Ha 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 ha! Yes, known for this evil laughter. मैं हूँ रावण. इस स्वर्गवासी रावण का पृथ्वीवासियों को नमस्कार. I am Ravan, the great king of Lanka, the conqueror, the mighty demon king, a gigantic personality with intelligence of 10 brains. I could have been anything I wanted, and yet I chose the path of wrongdoing. And that was the very moment I set my journey towards the impending doom. I could have been remembered as a wise man, but my deeds make people me remember as a devil. Smitten with greed, lust, and insatiable desires to become the all-powerful, I march my own people towards their untimely demise. And now I regret, I regret, I regret. My 10 heads could have been remembered as metamorphication of my knowledge of the 6 Shastras and the 4 Vedas. But they are remembered as symbolic of 10 sins. Every year you burn the effigies of me, the demon king, which is a metamorphic representation of cleaning your own mind, getting rid of the negative forms of love and maya that traps the mind. Hence, the day is called Vijayadashmi, which means winning those 10 distortions of mind. It's not only about me. These sins existed and still exist in every human behind. Some of us conquer these sins and live peacefully, but many of us are trapped in these sins and hence face the consequences. May it be Rishi, God, great historians, or common man. 2020, an epic year. A book named The 10 Deadly Sins has been written by Deavians, in which the preface talks about my sins, followed by chapters focusing on self-narrated stories picked from various mythological and historical books of great historians, God, Rishi, and common man, about the sins they committed due to which they face the consequences. मैं रावण सारे पृथ्वीवासियों को आमंत्रित करता हूँ. 6 अक्टूबर 2020 दोपहर 10:30 बजे उसका पुस्तक प्रमोशन है. अवश्य उसका हिस्सा बने और कुछ ज्ञान प्राप्त करें. हा 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 हा.
जय हो शंकरा आदिदेव शंकरा तेरे जाप के बिना चले ये सांस किस तरह मेरा कर्म तू ही जाने क्या बुरा है क्या भला तेरे रास्ते पे मैं तो आंख मूंद के चला तेरे नाम की जोत ने सारा हर लिया तमस मेरा नमो नमो जी शंकरा भोलेनाथ शंकरा जय त्रिलोकनाथ शंभु हे शिवाय शंकरा नमो नमो जी शंकरा भोलेनाथ शंकरा रुद्रदेव हे महेश्वरा
Attachment, the sin that I bear. My name, Kekai, has been tainted out the sin, but it was very well articulated that the root suffering was attachment. My nature and relationships were quite revealing in the Ayodhya Kanda of Valmiki Ramayana. But sometimes I was sweet-mannered. I am one of the king's favorite queen. My nature was quite being temperamental and unpredictable. When Mantra gave me the news that Rama was going to be the new king of Ayodhya, without wasting a single moment, I ran up to King Dashrath and told him that he made me the promise a few years ago to fulfill any of my two wishes. Seizing this moment, I asked King Dashrath to banish Ram and appointing my son Bharat as the new king. When Bharat listened my promise, he felt very awful because Ram was a father figure to him and he loved and respected him more than any other person in the universe. My sin of attachment with Bharat made me send Ram to a vanvas of 14 years. I thought whatever I wished for my son Bharat, I did it without any obstruction, but I was wrong. The happiness that I was wishing for my son proved to be a curse which created a long distance between me and my son. Today, I felt to be the most discarded woman and the self-centered mother who has to live with the sin of this guilt throughout.
Greetings, mortals. I am Athena, the goddess of wisdom, weaving flawless and the battle strategy. I have never been wrong, as I'm the wisest of all. But today, I feel merciful. Therefore, I should bestow upon you all a gift, a memory from my life. It was many years ago in ancient Greece when my influence was far and wide. There was a mortal named Anatomy. God must not commit sins, but I did. My name is tainted with the sin of jealousy. The young mortal and her boastfulness about her talent made me jealous. Therefore, I challenged her acting to judge and evaluate who was better. I wove a beautiful portrait of Olympus and it worked for the welfare of mortals. Arachne, though tried to be cheeky, she wove Arachne, though tried to be cheeky, she wove a tasty, way more beautiful than mine, portraying gods as yogis and drunkards. My anger mixed with my jealousy and forced me to curse the young mortal. I cursed Arachne, turned her into the world's first fight. I created a monster from whom 10 methods fear thought I am strong. Mortals commit sins and they die with it. Sometimes they don't even face the consequences. But I created a monster who consumes beauty and breeds death. According to me, the sin of jealousy is the greatest sin of all, as it is once committed, can't be washed away.
I am the seventh reincarnation of Lord Vishnu. I am Parshuram. I was born in a Brahmin family, but in addition to scriptures, I also learned art of weapons. Born in a world ruled by Kshatriya. They were the ruling class, but when the greed took over and they all become selfish monsters, my anger ran wild, and in my wild rage, I cleared the world of Kshatriyas on earth 21 times. I committed mass murders in my range and what I thought was justice. I killed men and women alike. No king was spared, as I didn't judge them on their action, but on the tag of being a Kshatriya. I also killed younger children and also infants and embryo in the wombs of mothers. In my rage, I committed crimes and glorified them. I thought my actions were justified and I was the divine justice sent by God on those who were unjust. Even though many of them truly deserve this fate, but many of them do not deserve, especially the infant and the unborn children. Therefore, the sin of anger is really dangerous and volatile. You lose power over your own actions and justify your wrongdoings. Therefore, I find it the greatest of all sins.
This is the tale of a great battle, or more, the tale of many lives lost, of hunger for power, and most importantly, of regret. I am the greatest king of Mauryan dynasty and conqueror of India. I am Ashoka. In my 18th year as the king of Mauryan Empire, my attention got caught by a certain region called Manipur, a land with prosperity and peak craftsmanship. It was a great prospect, both politically and economically. I grabbed my army and marched on into the battle. Whatever happened next was something I still regret to this day. The bloodshed, it was unprecedented. Streets ran red with blood. Metallic tank of blood rose into the air like wisps of red smoke. I was shocked, standing over the killing fields for the first time in my life. I realized the weight of regret, the power it contained, the revelations you made, enough to change a man forever. Never in the history before, mine or yours, has it ever happened that an usurper has decided to turn benevolent? I am the only example below. I had the regret and began preaching Buddhism and peace, which not only influenced countrymen, but also were popular throughout the world. This made me one of the mightiest kings of our country. Now, I'm standing before you, a mere ghost, and a witness of 2,000 years old history. I'm still shadowed by my past. The past never leaves us, and your sins are eternal. So long as we as humans exist, so will your actions and their consequences. You will regret over things, and just like me, you will learn to move on. No, washing away the sin of regret is impossible. The only way to be less pain is dying and moving on. Righting your wrongs and then moving on with a lesson well learned. That is how you say farewell to regret and live to tell the day. In the end, you don't empire or push your sins away. You learn from them and speak farewell to them, just like you would do when you fail. The sin of lust, that is the sin I bear. My name Alauddin Khilji has been tainted by the sin. Life is transient, but the actions are permanent. So is the lesson I learned. So is the lesson I intended to preach. Through battle and bloodshed, I won my kingdom and status. I felt powerful, like nothing in this universe was out of my grasp. No delicacy, no land, and most of all, no human. I lusted around the world. It's men, women, and even children. My sins knew no bounds. My actions were tainted, unclean. I amended a harem of 70,000 males, females, and even children. I killed husbands of 30,000 women and abducted them to my harem. My most well-known act was the siege of Chittor. I went after the queen of Chittor, Padmavati. She was supposed to be the crown jewel of my collection. She, another woman, decided to commit jihad. I won the battle, but I lost the war. Now, I am dead. In the pages of history, a memory floating through times. That is when I realized the greatest sin of all is the sin of lust. It's like a song resonating through ages, floating to sparkle of dynasties and men. I was at the pinnacle of my rule, coined by most powerful ruler of all. But my sin left me where I am, a dark page of an otherwise great history. My most well-known act was the siege of Chittor. I went after the queen of Chittor, Padmavati. She was supposed to be the crown jewel of my collection. She and another woman decided to commit Jawhar. I won the battle, but I lost the war. Now I am dead. In the pages of history, a memory, floating through times. That is when I realized the greatest sin of all is the sin of lust. It's like a song resonating through ages, floating the sparkle of dynasties and men.
All that have come before me announce their names in grand manner, some with slight discretion, some with powerful adjectives. But to me, pride is worthless and ego a sin. You can simply call me Emperor Akbar. My sin is ego, and this is the lesson I'll teach you today. So let's hear my story then. When I ruled as Emperor of India, I found about Tulsidas, the legendary writer who was supposedly writing an epic tale. I had heard of many miracles he could perform, and so I ordered him into my court. He refused to arrive, stating that he was writing his tale and doesn't want to be disturbed. I was young then, impatient too. My ego wouldn't let me be defeated, and so I sent the guards to fetch the scribe. At my court, I asked him to perform a miracle. He refused, simply saying, I only know Ram. This hurt my ego even more. I knew I was the emperor of lands, and how dare a mere scribe deny me anything I wish to be done. So I ordered him to be thrown into Fatehpur Sikri, the royal jail at that time. The palace was overrun by monkeys, and so was my city. The monkeys wreaked havoc for days, and did not leave till I left side by and apologized to his secret. I let him go free and decreed that no one should be treated wrongly in my way. The sin of ego is special. It arises with surprise and jealousy. It is deadly and hard to defeat. The only way to be free of it is to let aside oneself and get off the heights, putting others equal to yourself and treating everyone with respect is the only way to get rid of the sin of ego.
Bonjour. Welcome to Imperial France, a land of oppression and poverty. Well, not so much for me as it was for the third estate. Oh, where are my manners? Let me introduce myself. I am Louis XVI, the last monarch of Imperial France. People say that I bear the sin of greed. It is now that I have seen the world and died, I realize this fact to be true. Born in a system of class discrimination, I never knew the opposite of plenty. I had everything, money, power, and respect, but I still kept demanding more and more, and started doing less and less. I took everything for granted. I grew greedy. That's where everything went downhill. My empire came to an end. You see, when I was born, I was told that the world was mine. Every land, every farm, and every man. Anybody with a childhood like that would never know he was being greedy. All those times when the peasants gave me presents, I thought it was out of gratitude for the king. But it was just fear. Greed definitely is not the greatest sin, but it is the sin that spreads more, creating a monster on earth.
Hail Hitler! Ever heard that phrase? Of course, you have. I am Adolf Hitler, the greatest dictator of all the time, the Nazi and the killer of Jews. I was the best in military in World War I. we would have won the war, have not had to face the Treaty of Versailles. Only if the greedy Jews had funded the war. I blamed and still blame the Jews for what they did to our nation, our fatherland. My name bears the sin of hatred, and I hate the Jews. I made the lives of anyone from pure iron a living hell. Do I regret? Yes. With time, I have realized my mistakes, but I will never apologize. The sin of hatred is the one sin you never need to have. It's the sin that is most human. You always have it. You just need that one spark, that one motivation that makes you succumb into its shadow.
Kim Jong-un is one of the most despised individuals in the modern world. I am his father, Kim Jong II. I bear the sin of insensitivity. From my birth till my demise in 2011, I have only learned that I am the supreme leader. I am the only one who has the power to take decisions for the people of North Korea. I am the only one who has the power to do anything, and all people are lower to me. They are just like her, and I am the leader, the supreme leader. They all were born to serve me and my people, and they will also die doing so. I have learned that I can only achieve my dream of absolute power through insensitivity. I bear the sin of insensitivity, and I do not feel for the pleas of the dead, nor do I care. If I am to rule, if I am to stay just, impartial and strong for my people and my nation, I must be strong and just. I must be the supreme leader. If I had succumbed to petty feelings, I would never have been able to guide my own country through its time of famine and crisis. It is not very easy to acquire the sin of insensitivity, but once acquired, there is no going back. Even in death, I advocate in favor of what I did because I understand it to be right. I have committed the sin of insensitivity once, and I would not hesitate to do it once again if it's for my own gain or my nation's gain.
I am a common man, fighting with the present situation of corona. Threat of disease occupied so much of my thinking. For weeks, almost every newspaper has stories about coronavirus pandemic on its front page. Radio and TV programs have back-to-back coverage on latest death tolls. Social media platforms are flooded with frightening statistics, practical advice, or gallows humor. This constant bombardment has heightened my anxiety levels with effects on my mental health. Fears of contagion led me to become more conformist and tribalistic and less accepting of eccentricity. Eventually, I had to take help of a mental health professional. It really worked for me and gave me an insight when fear is excessive. This may have detrimental effects, and if it is insufficient, this may result harm to an individual and society. So my dear friends, optimum level of fear is important to deal with the situation effectively. But excess of it can have negative impacts on your physical and mental health. Fear is not real. It is a product of thoughts you create. Danger is very real, but fear is a choice. Yes, you heard me right. Fear is a choice. And if you choose fear, it will destroy you, your dreams, your hope, and your life. Deal with your fear, otherwise it will ensnare your mind and your heart. It is dangerous. Fear will destroy you if you let it do. I have been to the darkest places of my mind. I have been depths of my soul that I never want to go back to. Places where only fear and hopelessness exist. I have been there, and thankfully I made it back.
The core of life lies in humanity, but the sinful cravings end up in cruel reality. The most destructive of all is calming one's ego, paid with brutal ways to let the mankind go. Suffer of jealousy in the fury of anxiety. Fake strategies brings closer the casualty. In the lap of attachment, mortals exhibit audacity. They are hard to disturb their tranquility. Beyond the limits of anger, they move hands rampantly, rapid in their action, fall down to velocity. Carried away by lust, incapable to think rationally, ready to move to any extent just to possess vanity. Last but not the least, regret is the end of the pity. It creates void in the heart, reminds accountability to the majesty. Flown with the winds of desires, man being the statue of abnormality, must adopt realizations, honorably be the path of gravity.
आया हूँ आज मैं तुमको सुनाने, रावण के पाप और तुम्हें समझाने। शिव की भक्ति करी गया वो भूल, लोग बनाया की गलती पड़ा छाती पर शूल। सुनो 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 सुनो, नहीं किया उसने कभी पश्चाताप, पश्चाताप पश्चाताप पश्चाताप, नहीं किया उसने कभी पश्चाताप, और बढ़ते गए थे उसके सारे पाप। क्रोध बना, क्रोध बना, क्रोध बना, हाँ हाँ क्रोध बना, क्रोध बना उसके अपमान का कारण, ज्ञानी था बहुत ना मानव साधारण। बहुत भरा था उसमें अहंकार, तभी मिली उसे वह सदा ही हार। घृणा जबकि उसने खोई लंका सारी, कहने को तो राजा पर रंग बना व्यभिचारी। भय था, हाँ हाँ बहुत भय था, भय था उसको अपनी जान जाने का, ईर्ष्या ने काम किया उसे दंभी बनाने का। माना नहीं था उसने किसी का कहाना, मोह किया सीता का परा सब गवाना। काम लालसा से छूट नहीं पाया वह, जड़ता से डरता रहा टूट नहीं पाया वह। पापों ने गिराया उसे, पापों ने गिराया उसे, हुआ था रशाई वो, भाई ने भी साथ छोड़ा हुआ ना सहाय वो। मुक्त चाहे एक रखो, बनो आदमी काम के, व्यसनों से दूर रहो, हक रखो समान पे।
What a spectacular book launch! You all must be well familiar about the epic tale of Ramayana. Well, of course, that is because Ramayana is one of the major mythological tales in our religion. The mighty demon Ravan and his sins are well known. Now, allow us to present before you the positive side, that is Maryada Purushottam, Lord Ram. Here, we will talk about
Lord
the
Ram is one of
of Maryada Purushottam, which basically highlights the relation between psychology and the glorious tale of Ramayana.
the most revered deities in Hinduism. He was the seventh incarnation of Lord Vishnu. We all have grown up listening to the stories from the Ramayana, which are a source of inspiration for all. Lord Ram is an embodiment of perfection for his devotees. Maryada Purushottam is a Sanskrit phrase in which Maryada means honor and righteousness, and Purushottam means the supreme man. The phrase, when combined, refers to the man who is supreme in honor. It also means the best man who practiced righteousness until he perfected it. We are all living in the world of Kali Yuga, where the meaning of the virtues have changed. Now, people run after materialistic things and all the cultural and moral values are forgotten. The people are not following the concepts and principles that Ramayana upholds. It is disappointing, but it's the truth. This change has begun to break the piousness of relationships. All aspects of today's society have transformed drastically away from the positive values our society was once based on. We also see a trace of relation between the psychological principles and mythology. It can be linked with Maslow's theory of need hierarchy theory and Freud's concept of ID, ego, and superego. In psychology, a humanistic psychologist named Abraham Maslow gave a need hierarchy theory in 1943 in his paper, in which he said that humans are driven by 5 needs in an order. Maslow used the terms physiological, safety, belonging and love, esteem, and self-actualization to describe the pattern through which human motivations generally move. First are physiological needs. These are biological requirements for human survival. Human body works optimally when these needs are fulfilled. According to Maslow, physiological needs like air, food, shelter, clothing, warmth, and sleep are the basic requirements of body. Other needs become secondary until these needs are met. Second are safety needs, protection from elements, security, order, law, and stability. Third are love and belongingness needs. The third level of human needs is social and involves feelings of belongingness. The need for interpersonal relationships motivates behavior. Fourth, esteem needs, which Maslow classified into 2 categories. First, esteem for oneself, and second, the desire for reputation or respect from others. Maslow indicated that the need for respect or reputation is most important for children and adolescents and precedes real self-esteem or dignity. Last set of needs are called self-actualization needs, realizing personal potential, self-fulfillment, seeking personal growth and peak experiences, a desire to become everything one is capable of becoming. Lord Ram wanted to achieve his 5th need, self-actualization, and he did, but it is difficult for today's world to attain it. The reason for the same is we don't experience our life fully, vividly, selflessly, with full concentration and total absorption. It is must for today's generation to be very wholly yourself. It is very important to know oneself and let yourself emerge. Shut out the noise of world that tells you how you should think, feel, behave. Instead, pay attention to your own body signals. Take responsibility for your own feelings and reactions. Accept them. Each time one takes responsibility, this is an actualizing of the self. Lord Ram was depicted as a super ego-based human being who took all his decisions on moral values. The Ramayana teaches us certain moral principles or ethics we need to imbibe in our daily lives to become a better human being. Let's learn about few ethics with examples from the Ramayana. Over to you, Kriti.
The first one in this list is the effect of bad association. We all are well aware of the importance of good association in our lives, be it our friends or the people we surrounded ourselves with. The association we form influence our behavior accordingly. In case of Ramayana, the behavior of Kekai towards Lord Rama totally changed when Manthara provoked her. Kekai loved Rama even more than his own son Bharat, but when Manthara filled Kekai's mind with how Bharat should become the ruler, she could not see through her veil of attachment the love for Rama and ordered him to be sent for exile. This was the effect of bad association on the personality of Kekai.
Next, we see how we should be passionate about our aims in life. If we have strong willpower and determination, then we can overcome any hurdle to reach our goals. As the Ramayana reveals, Lord Ram kept working hard until he had his wife Sita back from the demon Ravan. He never gave up hope and was passionate for what he wanted to do. He shows perfection in his actions in many instances, and this is just one of them. Spirituality is another aspect of Ram's personality. He was magnanimous and donated loads to people. He never remembered what all he had donated and selflessly gave away his wealth. Materialistic possessions can give us physical comfort for some time, but can never satisfy the greed that human beings possess. To get rid of this sin of greed, we must not have a materialistic nature and should be generous like Lord Ram. Lord Ram's life also depicts his love for his family, especially his brothers. All 4 brothers had immense respect for each other, and they viewed Ram as the embodiment of perfection. Even though it was Bharat to whom the throne was handed, Lord Ram never showed the slightest jealousy towards Bharat at the throne being denied to him. He accepted his situation and gave blessings to his brother. Even though Bharat protested in favor of Lord Ram being the king, Lord Ram knew that he could not disobey his parents and convince Bharat to rule the kingdom, saying that he was destined to and needed to go for the long exile. Also, Lord Ram never disrespected his elders, whereas Bharat despised his own mother because of her unpleasant behavior towards Lord Ram. The virtue of being humble is rarely found, but Lord Ram was definitely a humble and modest person. He never had the egoistic behavior despite possessing miraculous powers, and all people were equal in his eyes. He never ill-treated a person just because that person was low in standard. The sin of ego never entered his being, and he was humble to all the people he came across. The instance of Lord Ram accepting the berries offered by the tribal woman Shabri is well known and depict Lord Ram's humility. Shabri used to taste the berries to make sure they were sweet. When she offered those tasted berries to Lord Ram, Lakshman objected and refused his brother from eating them because he claimed they were unworthy of eating. But Lord Ram had a different opinion. He willingly accepted and ate the berries. He did not disrespect the women by refusing to eat them and was pleased by the devotion he observed in Shabri. Sometimes our emotions get muddled up and rather extreme. In such cases, human beings lose their temper and take the wrong decisions, as they are not able to control their emotions. Lord Ram is an exception, since he never let his emotions dominate his actions and always took his decisions wisely. When his wife Sita was abducted by Ravan, he must have felt a shock of pain, fear for his wife, and of course, tremendous anger for the Lanka king Ravan. But he remained contained and took decision with a calm mind. This is exactly how the behavior of people should be. People usually take wrong, insensible decisions and actions since they are possessed deeply by the emotions controlling them. We have to learn to control our emotions rather than letting them control us, as to emerge as a better version of ourselves. We cannot control the events of life, but we can choose not to lose our peace of mind. Now over to Suhani, who will sum up the whole presentation.
So, my dear friends, Ramayana is a very good source of knowledge. It helps us stop copying Western culture and follow the vast and wonderful culture of Indian society. It upholds the principle of good relationships, respect for elders, love for younger ones, and the foundation of family structure. The author Valmiki wanted to portray that a man cannot be ideal or flawless, even though he is an avatar of God. For becoming an ideal person, upholding dharma, Lord Ram had to slay an innocent person, an obvious immoral act. For becoming an ideal warrior, he had to kill Bali. Becoming an ideal king, he ceased to become an ideal husband who exiled his pregnant wife to keep his subjects happy. The character can be interpreted as someone we all try to be. We all want to become ideal in every field of life. Similarly, we all have flaws, but it is our choice how much we may struggle to become ideal. At the time of his exile, Lord Ram pursued his personal potentials, self-fulfillment, personal growth, and peak experience of transcendence. Ram is considered a Maryada Purushottam, or the best upholder of Dharma, basically a human but exemplary figure. India desperately needs to reinvigorate its Hindu values and leave aside the identity issues. The land of Bharat needs to work on the basics of its foundation rather than get involved in superficial arguments. It also needs to create high moral standards. If Indians are able to embrace the core Hindu values, many of our problems will get banished. I just hope that coming Diwali, Indians will take values of Lord Ram more seriously than his name. So, the solutions what we find from Ramayana are applicable to most of the people universally, in family life, business life, etc. We can teach Ramayana to the toddlers as a story so they can enjoy it while learning the basic values. Parents can further utilize the principles of Ramayana to foster their family. Ramayana positively and successfully influences people to preserve the individual and family values.
Such a delightful presentation to understand the essence of Lord Ram. Now, remembering what was forgotten. We all experience negative emotions, have unpleasant episodes in life, and negative thoughts do bother us. But we rarely stop to think and pay close attention to our experiences. We do not consider the impact it has on our mental and physiological states, or the long-term implications holding on to our emotions has that might be harmful to us. We, the students of 11th I, got an opportunity to take a deep dive into the emotions, thoughts, experiences, especially negative ones. What causes them, the effects of them, and how we can use them to create a greater sense of well-being. Some of our classmates took out time for themselves and tried to pen down their emotions and thoughts on the paper. It really worked for them, and they got an opportunity to vent out the unsaid. It is rightly said, art is the very essence of human life. Since ages, mortals have expressed their cerebral impulses and sparks through varied art forms, much before the advent of language. It's not only a mere communication with others, but it is a medium to correlate with our inner self, to understand the truth behind our existence, and to get connected with the supreme power. So here we all wish to recollect and share the experiences with you through the great means of art.
Break the culture of silence. Yes, you heard me right. Breaking the culture of silence. Let's listen to this heart-touching story. One day, our classmate and her family were going for an excursion to Manali by road. It was dawn and she was sleeping. She felt a touch. She opened her eyes and noticed a man sitting beside her, whose hands were on her thigh, which made her uncomfortable. She ignored him and put his hand away. He gazed at her, full of frustration, and left. She breathed a sigh of relief, but was not very much relieved. This incident had such an impact on her that the thought would bother her, and she used to have sleepless nights. She couldn't gather the courage to tell her parents about the whole incident, as she did something wrong. She remained silent for months, and then her parents noticed the change in her behavior. One day, she gathered all the courage to share this episode with her parents, and she felt relieved. Now she realized that this was a great mistake she had committed. Maybe she should have felt more confident, which she felt after telling them. Her mother then told her that she should learn to face such non-conducive situations more fearlessly and should not remain silent. She learned a lesson that don't stay silent, speak up. It's not victim's fault. Don't overlook it.
Another story that touched us, coping with grief and loss. So my classmate and his grandfather were very close. They used to spend a great and quality time whenever he visited Delhi. His grandfather loved him a lot because he is the youngest and closest to him of all grandchildren. His grandfather used to live with his uncle's family in Roorkee. One day, he got news that he had suffered a heart attack and was taken to hospital by his uncle and aunt. He was stuck in Delhi due to his final exams, while his parents left immediately to meet him. Next day, when he and his elder brother were about to leave, they got a news that he had passed away last night. He had even been cremated before they reached there. He was not able to see him once in his last days and couldn't even get the opportunity to say goodbye to him. This made him regret tremendously. After that day, he was unable to sleep soundly, had nightmares, couldn't concentrate on his studies, and as a result, his grades fell and he came to be known as one of the weakest students of our class. He was not able to bear the death of his beloved grandfather. He didn't have anyone to talk with. He had to keep all the pain he had within himself. This made him depressed throughout. It took him a long time to come out of this low spirit. So my dear friend learned that one shouldn't suppress emotions. Let your emotions be expressed and relieved. Don't stop yourself from having a good cry if you feel one coming on. Don't worry if listening to particular songs or doing certain things is painful because it brings back memories of the person that you lost. It's natural to feel this way. After a while, it becomes less painful. Know that you can and will feel better over time.
It is rightly said, to be trusted is a greater compliment than to be loved. So one of our classmates was playing in the ground with her other friends. Her best friend was not present there as she had earnings to finish. That time, one of her friends, actually she was an acquaintance, approached her and told her that her best friend is a back pitcher. She brainwashed her mind to such an extent that she believed her. She revealed some of her secrets to prove her friend's disloyalty. She went straight to her best friend and asked her the reason. Her best friend could not understand what she was talking about and tried to leave that place. She lost her temper and slapped her. This argument then took a face of a fight. They never talked with each other after that. After a few weeks, her best friend left the town. As expected, she missed her a lot. After a few months, they connected to each other through social media. Both of them discussed about the whole matter and figured out that it was all a misunderstanding. They tried to rejoin the thread of their friendship and become friends again. She learned that it is very important to have trust in relationship. When distrust comes, it's very difficult to restore what we feel for the other person again. It's easy for suspicion to turn into obsession. So before one creates misunderstanding and spoils relationship, it's always better to talk about it, not to assume things.
Beware of bad company. My friend was in a company of wrong group and never listened to his parents and well-wishers that his group of friends were wrong. He was under impression that his friends were only people who understood him, but he realized that he was wrong and he had to bear the consequences. His behavior changed, his habits changed, his marks dropped and whatnot. So much happened that still he has goosebumps thinking about it. It was the worst thing that happened to him. He learned that bad company yields very strong influence on the personality, dignity, and image.
It is very important, especially in our age, to be vigilant and that what company we are in. And most importantly, we should not follow anyone blindly. One should be firm and assertive in his or her own decisions.
Words scar, humor destroy, bullies kills. She was always being teased by her classmates, by her friends in her neighborhood. Few classmates used to call her baby elephant. This made her feel that she is not pretty, she is not beautiful, she is not attractive. As a consequence, she stopped interacting with people, stopped going out for parties and gatherings. She lost her confidence. Eventually, she started working on her body and lose weight. This motivated her, but still, those words and reaction of people toward her haunted the innocent girl. She tried to overcome with it and also succeeded a bit, but not completely. But people say bothers her, but pretended that she doesn't care about them, though she thinks she has pooped up. But it was, but not completely. The scars of being teased, being bullied, never goes away. So request to all my fellow friends who are listening to her story not to tease anyone, not to make fun of anyone, as it can have a devastating effect on others. It must be a fun for us, but a trauma for the other person who is being bullied. As bystanders, let's not laugh on comments passed by the bully on the person, rather to stop that person from making the fun of others.
Regret, as it is always said that there is a bright side to every dark thing. So is the case with otherwise deadly pandemic. Due to academic engagements, school, work, tuition, going out with friends, one of our friends didn't get time to spend with his family. This lockdown was a blessing in disguise for him. His whole family schedule changed, and over time, their approach towards each other. He got to spend some quality time with his family. They, as a family, performed all domestic chores, such as cooking, mopping, etc., and had light conversations during meals. He realized the importance of family time and relations, and regrets of not spending quality and beautiful times with family. So he learned that family time is an essential factor that helps to create bonds, love, connections, and relationship among the family members.
Thank you, Soumya and Kanan, for sharing the experiences of the students. Now, I would like to request respected Principal Ma'am to say a few words.
Yes. A very good morning to all of you, dear students.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yeah. So, you are highlighting me here. Huh? This platform is for you, dear children. So, today you lead the school. Tomorrow your students will lead the world. Yes. Very well said. We are always proud of our students. So, it was indeed, what can I say? It was a visual treat for all of us. The topics you have taken, the areas you have identified, the way you have spoken here, it was marvelous, outstanding. A huge round of applause to all of you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
So, starting from your PPT, then first was the presentation you have taken, that deadly sins. So you have highlighted the all type of emotions, the negative emotions, and how we should overcome. So if I think many students are old students, those who are at the school, we have staged Ravan as a ballet also in the school. So in that also we have highlighted the positive aspect of Ravan. So you have also highlighted like we are all human beings. We have positive and negativity in ourselves. So if we are going to highlight our positivity, so then negative emotions, we can always do away with that. So, but in Ravan and different characters you have portrayed very well. So the dresses were very good, the scenes were very good. So all the skills were very well depicted. All the creativity was there. And you have spoken here, Kashish, like art is a like form which can capture anything. So you have captured everything during this time, like 40 minutes presentation. So the deadly sins were portrayed very well depicted by different students. Maximum participation was there. Then the PPT was so remarkable. And I've told Sandeep ma'am, like we will share this PPT with the whole school before this Diwali, so that they should also come to know. We know everything, but if our peer group is sharing with us, so then it is of more relevance. So you have highlighted everything, like what is self-actualization. If as a human being or as a student at this stage of your life, you can realize yourself, you can reflect on yourself. So if I can reflect on myself, so then nobody can stop me. So if I see my inside, because we have whole strength inside ourselves. God has given us lot of potential, lot of strength, as I always say. So if I will see myself, I will control myself, and I will try to become a good human being. So the world is a beautiful place, and life is really very good. The moments, every moment is very precious. We must celebrate every moment. We must try to find out joy. We must smile. These things don't cost anything. I always share with you. Smile as you can. Feel joy in small things. If I'm not able to fulfill the high objective, let us be happy with the small objective I have attained, and then I can bounce back with double energy to achieve the next objective, to fulfill that objective. And dear children, you all have lot of potential. With the help of your teachers, they are the guiding force, your parents and teachers. We are here to guide you, just to show a way. You have to travel the path, and we learn a lot from you. We keep on learning from our students. I always say I learn many new things. Every day is a new day, and now today seeing you presenting this spectrum, so I'm so happy. Then the collage was again too good. So you have tried to share with your friends how to control ourselves, how to be having a strong willpower. So where is Shikha ma'am, psychologist? Yes. So great job done by the entire team. I'm so happy for you, dear children, and nothing can stop you. You all are unstoppable. Think big, dream big, and try to fulfill your dreams. And I am really always honored with your presence, with your words, and whenever you bounce back as alumni, you come to us. You are always making us proud. And for a teacher like us, if we see our children growing as good human beings, academical excellence is another part. But academic excellence will just be with you up to a level. After that, if you have developed all the skills in yourself, all the different skills, only then you can be a good human being. So we want you all to develop all the skills along with the academic skills. And I am happy you are, I think, grooming yourself with the help of your teachers, with the help of your parents. Your parents should be proud of yourself, and you should be proud of yourself first. Only then you can make others proud of your achievements. So once again, a huge round of applause to the entire team. And we are always proving like humanities is no lesser stream, which previously people were thinking. So you are going to rock the world. You have a lot of talent in yourself. So God bless you, dear children. These are my words. I will always, I'm so happy to be connected to you. Many are newcomer also. We couldn't meet in the school. So glad to meet you here virtually.
Yes. Kanan is a new student before you, ma'am.
Yes.
And a good speaker. She has proved herself.
Yes.
I think some others are also new here. Shikha ma'am, any other newcomer?
Sarthak, who has done all the technical work.
Yes,
all the
sir.
backgrounds and everything.
Yes.
Great,
Yes.
great. So a great teamwork is there now. You have come to know each other. A collaborative effort was there. Till now, because you are from different sections, so you have not met in class 11 till class 10, so you are belonging to the same section. So now you are from different sections and we have not met in the school. So this is a great platform where you could meet each other. You can work in collaboration, and the team is now becoming stronger day by day. It will become, and you can strengthen yourself. You can help each other. You can motivate each other. Yes.
The biggest applause is that we wanted to be, retelecasted on Diwali because it's a very appropriate, a very new theme given in a very beautiful manner. So, इससे बड़ा applause तो हो नहीं सकता, Shikha ma'am. Ma'am has selected something, and I really appreciate the new concept. Its delivery is excellent, and as ma'am has already said, the collage was excellent, the PPT was excellent, and our speakers are excellent. So we have a good resource bank in 11th I. So congratulations to the entire team. Wonderful concept, Shikha ma'am.
Try to participate in all type of competitions, all type of Olympiads. Try to groom yourself. Try to challenge yourself.
With great potential.
Yes, not to be performed in the school only, but outside also. Only then you will come to know your potential. Don't limit yourself here.
Yes. So, congratulations to everybody. God bless. Thank you.
Okay, now I would like to call our judges, Miss Vandana and Mr. Vivek. So, Miss Vandana, please can you switch on your video, ma'am?
Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, Vandana.
Ma'am, please on your video. Good morning.
Ma'am, I on.
Yes, now we can see you.
Yeah. I really love the performance. The topic was unique and beautifully presented by all the students and teachers. And I would also appreciate the hard work of teachers who are arranging this event in such a time. All the scenes were shown innovatively by the students. The coordination between the students are excellent. So excellent jobs by all teachers and students. Congratulations to all. Thank you.
Now, Mr. Vivek. Mr. Vivek.
Just a second.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah, hello.
Auntie.
Hello, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, ma'am.
Yes,
Mr. Vivek.
Morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
The presentation was very nice, very well written. And I could see the effort put in by all the students and the teachers. It was very, very good presentation. All the things you said was great. Thank you.
Okay, now parents and students, please share your experiences and opinion about the event.
Do we have any parents?
Okay, so Bhavya's mother is here.
May I, ma'am? Faculty, respected principal, ma'am. I just feel like I got admitted to the school today. Ma'am, everything, Shikha ma'am, congratulations. Your team has done a very marvelous job. Very nice topic, and created to a very good platform. A very nice collage, I can say. And the thing which always Vadera ma'am says that the communication skills and the presentation, because being a compare, being an anchor, I can say that these coming up generation are doing it very fabulously, very fabulously. Salute to all of you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Vikas. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Principal ma'am, and all the respected teachers. Myself, Bhavya's mother.
Hanji ma'am.
Everybody has put in great effort. It was a wonderful program, and I can understand how challenging it must have been to get the students prepared and to coordinate their activities virtually. It must have been a challenging task, and they have done it in a highly appreciable manner. Topics covered, the issues raised, they all were very great. All have performed very well, and a big round of applause for all of them. And I wish them good luck. Congratulations to all. Thank you for giving platform to our children.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Kanan's mother, Kanan, Suhani, Mr. Base.
Yes, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Hanji, yes. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. Hello.
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
मैम सभी बच्चों का परफॉर्मेंस बहुत अच्छा था, मैंने देखा, और मुझे मतलब अच्छा लगा कि मैंने अपनी डॉटर को बहुत अच्छे स्कूल में यानी हमने एडमिशन कराया अपनी डॉटर का. सबका परफॉर्मेंस बहुत अच्छा था मैम.
Thank you so much. She spoke very well. Lot of talent is we can see. Yes.
Thank you.
You're coming from which school, beta?
Ma'am, Goodlay Public School.
Great.
Shalimar Bagh.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Great. Yes. Shikha, some other parents are also there.
Ma'am, Mrs. Bansal, Mr. Besh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good morning, principal ma'am and the teachers. I think this is excellent performance, bringing the values of Lord Ram in the present scenario. I mean, I was just surprised the way the children Kashish and Suhani were preparing the PPT along with the guidance of Shikha ma'am. I mean, the bonding they formed during this period.
Yes,
though
yes.
Kashish and Suhani were in the same class last year also. So it's exemplary actually. The kind of work the kids have done, all the kids actually. I knew how they were talking with each other,
Yes.
Throughout the class. So it's a very valuable platform, ma'am. Thank you.
I think it was a de-stressing activity for everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
They must have
true.
enjoyed it. Yes.
Good
Yes.
morning, ma'am.
Good morning,
This
sir.
is Devinder, Kashish's father. It's a phenomenal presentation you guys given today. Refreshing and reminding things what to do, what to not to do. Because in the current busy life, everyone's forget the things what we
Yes.
have not to do, for which
Absolutely.
we have to regret it later. That's a
Very
phenomenal thing. Thanks to teachers, thanks to students. Thank you so much for a great presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Anyone else? Any student, any parent who would like to express their opinion, their experiences?
Any parent is there? Any other parent is here? No.
Any parent?
No.
Okay.
All right. You
Yes,
have
sir.
students.
Teachers are here. Any teachers, Shikha, those who have worked with you?
Sushila ma'am, Suman ma'am, no, they are not here.
They are not here.
No.
Seema would like to say something.
Seema has taken a very keen interest in seeing it.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning to everybody. It's a wonderful performance, and I really enjoyed every part of it. And ma'am, I must tell you one thing: the students are fabulous. The
Yes.
reaction, their interaction, their all kind of responses they give in during the class also is wonderful. And I could see a wonderful gel of psychology and humanities in this presentation. I'm so very glad and I'm so very happy. And congratulations to all the wonderful team. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So,
Yes, dear children, Kashish, you would like to say something? Please share your views. Have you
She's
all
the Raman
imagined
of the
like Spectrum will go virtually also? Have you thought about this?
Yes.
Yes, share your views.
Yes, ma'am. It is also a wonderful experience. This is the first time we are doing this, and it went so well that we're proud of ourselves now. We worked very hard, and Shikha ma'am was really cooperating with us all the time. She used to do calls. She used to do meetings with us. She has given us full time, and we are really happy that it went so well, ma'am.
Very good. Yes, Suhani.
Yes, ma'am, we never thought that this would happen, all this virtual, and it is also like a new experience we had in virtual. Me and Kashish, we had lots of fun making the PPT. We researched on a lot of new information. So yeah, we got to know about many new things. So it was good. The experience was good.
It was a real learning for all of you in many areas. Yes. Who else is here? Soham Bansal, Kanan Sharma.
I just want to say it's the cutest Ravan ever I have seen.
No doubt, no doubt. Anji, yes.
Yes, you were saying something.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am. I would like to say that, ma'am, Shikha, ma'am, she just cooperated with us so much. Ma'am, she was working all day, all night, and ma'am, she was not eating. She was just texting us, "Keep do this. I want this. We want this, ma'am." That was so nice, and ma'am. I didn't feel that I am in another school or I have changed my school. Everyone here is so cooperative and understanding. And ma'am, I think we all have worked really hard.
Good. Okay. Yes, anybody else? There are so many students here. Any boy from your class?
Yes, ma'am. Anmol, Sarthak is not here.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Anmol, come on screen.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
You were the lab singer.
Ma'am, I would like to say that. Yes, ma'am. I would say that. Ma'am, I got an opportunity to show my talent because, ma'am, I'm very much interested in rapping and all that thing. I listen to rap almost all day. So, ma'am, this was a very, amazing opportunity, ma'am, I will say. And ma'am, I would like to thank that she gave me that opportunity.
Good.
And ma'am gave us this opportunity to do the spectrum.
Yes, it was a big challenge, and I know you will emerge as winners, all of you. Yes, anybody else? Any other boy? Any other student?
Yes, ma'am. Karthik, he did all technical work, but I can't see him here. He's not here. So all the visuals of video and everything was done by him.
Any other child would like to interact? Anybody on this platform, beta?
Anyone else?
Do we have a Saloni?
Who, ma'am?
A name came on the screen. No, she's left. Saloni.
Okay, Shikha, you would like to say something?
Yes, ma'am. I would like to say that it was a great experience working with these students. And on this platform, especially on this platform, I would like to thank students who have shared their experiences, because it is not easy to share the experiences, they're not able to even vent out. So this was a great way to express their experience. Art was the great way. And everyone contributed in their best way. And special thanks to Kashish, Suhani, Kanan, Soumya, and Sarthak, who were available 24/7, and they were ready to make last-minute changes. And obviously, thanks to ma'am and Sandeep ma'am for their inspiration and support. Thank you so much.
For me to be connected to you all, dear students, because with teachers, so we keep on meeting, but it was a great platform to interact with you. So looking forward for more interactions, and maybe the school will open and we can meet here. Take care of yourself. May God bless you all. And once again, congratulations to you all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. For Shanti part, Kashish.
Now I would like you all to keep hands for the Shanti card and close your eyes.